much for checking this video out. It's your boy Raymond. We back with another video, and today we're going to talk about not letting your impulsive decisions in the moment affect the generations to come. Not letting your impulsive decisions in the moment affect generations to come. Now, of course, I came up with this message because, hey, we're going through the Bible chapter by chapter, verse by verse, and because I feel like this is the greatest book for life in general, and it can help you out with a lot of situations that you got going on in life. And today we talking about Genesis 34. We talking about a real sensitive subject, right? And some impulsive decisions happen on both sides of the coin in this scenario, right? And impulse, you gotta realize, like, anytime you do anything and you react in anger or react, you know what I'm saying, just with non-pure intentions in the moment, you're gonna have some consequences that come from it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you feel like you're totally in the right. And that's what this story is about. You know, one of the things that I can just tell you is just like, never let, anger dictate any decision that you may have. If you have anger problems, you have to find ways to, reduce your anger. And I always have ways to do it, but, this is going to be one of the messages where we find how we can reduce our anger and actually, go ahead and not, see the consequences of what happens when we act in anger. So, without further ado, let's read the source material. Let's read this chapter in the Bible and let's see what they have to talk about.
Genesis chapter 34, ERV. One day, Dinah, the daughter of Leah and Jacob, went out to see the women of that place. She was seen by Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, who ruled that area. Shechem took Dinah and raped her, but he was so attracted to her that he fell in love and began expressing his feelings to her.
Please get this girl for me so that I can marry her.
Jacob learned that Shechem had done this very bad thing to his daughter, but all his sons were out in the fields with the cattle, so he did nothing until they came home. Then Shechem's father, Hamor, came out to talk with Jacob. In the fields, Jacob's sons heard the news about what had happened. They were very angry because Shechem had brought shame to Israel by raping Jacob's daughter. They came in from the fields as soon as they heard about the terrible thing Shechem had done.
But Hamor talked to Dinah's brothers and said, "My son Shechem wants Dinah very much. Please let him marry her. This marriage will show we have a special agreement. Then our men can marry your women, and your men can marry our women. You can live in the same land with us. You will be free to own the land and to trade here."
Shechem also talked to Jacob and to Dinah's brothers and said, "Please accept me. I will do anything you ask me to do. I will give you any gift you want if you will only allow me to marry Dinah. I will give you anything you ask, but let me marry her."
Jacob's sons decided to lie to Shechem and his father because Shechem had done such a bad thing to their sister Dinah.
The brothers said to them, "We cannot allow our sister to marry you because you are not yet circumcised. That would bring us shame, but we will allow you to marry her if you do this one thing. Every man in your town must be circumcised like us. Then your men can marry our women, and our men can marry your women. Then we will become one people. If you refuse to be circumcised, we will take Dinah away."
This agreement made Hamor and Shechem very happy. Shechem was very happy to do what Dinah's brothers asked. Shechem was the most honored man in his family. Hamor and Shechem went to the meeting place of their city.
They spoke to the men of the city and said, "These people want to be friends with us. We want to let them live in our land and be at peace with us. We have enough land for all of us. We are free to marry their women, and we are happy to give them our women to marry. But there is one thing that all our men must agree to do. They must agree to be circumcised as they are. If we do this, we will become rich from all their cattle and other animals, We should make this agreement with them so that they will stay here with us.
All the men who heard this in the meeting place agreed with Hamor and Shechem, and every man was circumcised at that time. 3 days later, the men who were circumcised were still sore. 2 of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, knew that the men would be weak at this time, so they went to the city and killed all the men there. Dinah's brothers, Simeon and Levi, killed Hamor and his son Shechem. Then they took Dinah out of Shechem's house and left. Jacob's sons went to the city and stole everything that was there because of what Shechem had done to their sister. So the brothers took all their animals, all their donkeys, and everything else in the city and in the fields. The brothers took everything those people owned. They even took their wives and children.
You have caused me a lot of trouble. All the people in this place will hate me. All the Canaanites and the Perizzites will turn against me. There are only a few of us. If the people in this place gather together to fight against us, I will be destroyed, and all our people will be destroyed with me.
Should we let these people treat our sister like a prostitute? They were wrong to do that to our sister. Genesis chapter 34, ERV.
So now that that's done, you already see what's up. You know what I'm saying? We're still talking about our man Jacob, right? He got daughters, he got sons. And guess what? One of his daughters gets violated the ultimate way. You know what I'm saying? We have to blur that word out because it was kind of, you know, it was super offensive and very, 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 man, you know, it just, you feel for anybody that happens to, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about the first incident, right? Shechem doing what he did to Jacob's daughter, right? And then coming back and realizing that he was attracted to her or whatever. That ain't player, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta control your lust in the beginning situations. You know what I'm saying? Never lead with lust. I can tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? I've had my scenarios in life, and the times where I played it cool and just talked and found out who the person was and everything like that, and didn't lead with lust, even if I was attracted to the person, are always the best scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Time is always the best scenario. Of course, we're talking about a time back in the days where it's just like, he probably could have got away with that. You know what I'm saying? He probably would have did what he did and just kept it pushing. Like, what are you about to do? I'm the ruler of the land, because he was a very, very high-ranking person in the land at that point in time. But, you know what I'm saying, him actually finding out that, dang, I was wrong, I shouldn't have did that. You know, you just see how just his impulsive decision messed everything up. You know, things work the way they work, but you just see where that was the intro to where his family could have been blessed by mixing with Jacob's family and, you know, really, really easing tensions and everything. But it created tensions, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to deal with the victim side of the family. Now, are the victims of the family just for how they handle it? Was Jacob's sons just for how they handled the situation? Of course, Jacob said that he didn't want them to do that because it created a whole bunch of problems in the land, because you already see what happened. They went and everybody got it. The father got it. The son got it. Everybody around them got it. And now, you know, what Jacob was worrying about is, you know, you guys done took all this land, took their land, took their money, took their women, the kids and everything like that. What's going to happen after this? You know what I'm saying? They're strangers in the land. They're outnumbered in the land. And the one thing about it, you know, you kind of find out later on down the line, Jacob's sons is really about that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why they just did what they did. It didn't matter. Whatever happens, they're going to deal with it, you know? And of course, this isn't a time this isn't a time where they can just go to police. You know what I'm saying? You have to handle it strategically. And, you know, I can't come to a conclusion on what was the best thing to do. I didn't live back in that time. And I hate to put myself in a hypothetical scenario of what would I do in this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Of course, in this point in time, you got authorities that you have to go and submit to, and you got to go handle that the way that they will want you to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, people will want you to handle it other ways. You know what I'm saying? Handle it with outside of the police. I just say that however, anytime somebody disrespects you, I think you should always handle it strategically. Let me just let that sink in. I'm not telling you not to handle it. I'm not telling you to let it go. Handle it strategically. Don't handle it when your first thought is anger. You know what I'm saying? Give it a couple days. You know, you should see like that was a complex scenario. You see Jacob, probably one of the wisest men at that point in time, just kind of quiet because that was a complex scenario. He needed his time to think about it, and then his sons just like wasn't having it. Let's go handle this, and they did. You know, my goal to you, as far as helping you live a peaceful and prosperous life. If you felt disrespected, handle it strategically. Take your time. You don't move on anybody's clock, because at the end of the day, you handle it strategically. You're handling it smart, and handling it the smart way is way better than handling it the dumb way. That's all I can say. And also, it's just going back to the first scenario. Don't lead anything with lust, man. I don't care how attractive the person is to you. Don't lead with lust. Don't ever violate somebody's space. Conversations are always better to be had. And then also, I can understand where these are people that were not going to intermingle like that. You gotta always remember there's plenty of fish in the sea. It probably wasn't a lot of fish in the sea back in the days, and this is why he did what he did. But it doesn't justify it. Always, never lead with lust. Always get to know the person. You know what I'm saying? This is why we even have commandments. You know what I'm saying? This is before the 10 Commandments. This is crazy. This is before the 10 Commandments. That's why right now we have situations where it's just like everything is over sexualized. It kind of helps to, wait until the right time to begin sexual advances. I'll just say that. Hey, I hope this message helped you. I'm trying to stay consistent with everything. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that you give me a like, subscribe. I hope that it helped you. If it helped you, comment. If you have anything to say about this message, just comment back, man. I want to hear from you. Once again, man, it's your boy Ray. You know what I'm saying? The biblical blueprint. And hey, chapter by chapter, verse by verse, I hope it helps you, man.